Welcome to Tutors Plus IB English with me, Dexter Haywood, an IB English tutor, examiner and workshop leader. So let's take a look at how to strengthen your IB English IA. A lot of students feel stressed about the IB English IA with reason, because they're not sure what to say first, what to say next, and what to leave out. The good news is that every IO has a very predictable structure. And once you know it, everything becomes that much easier. This is how to structure your IB English IO in 10 minutes. A clear structure gives your oral direction, gives you confidence, and it gives coherence. It makes it that much easier for the examiner to follow and reward your ideas. And then your IO is super short, it's just 10 minutes, and which goes by so fast. The examiner may only hear it once or twice. So a clear structure keeps your argument focused, and it helps your ideas flow logically. And it prevents you from drifting into summary. So this is the moment in which your oral starts to study itself. So let's look at that structure and see how that actually works. For your IO, you're allowed 10 bullet points to take with you into the room that you can prepare in advance and take in with you. Based on those 10 bullet points, your IO could structure in a simple manner. Firstly, your introduction, point 1. Point 2, bringing up the ideas of 1 and 2, relating them to the literary extract and connecting them to your global issue. And then point 3, you're going with Peel for ideas 1 and 2. Where you unpack those ideas to the literary extract and to the question. And then we have 3 and 4 from your literary extract. Ideas 3 and 4, just on the extract. Connected to your global issue and connected to the broader context of your wider work. And then again with Peel for ideas 3 and 4. So point, evidence, analytic, explain. From your literary extract, connect it to your global issue, connect it to the wider work. And then we move into the literary or non-literary extract, where we again do ideas 1 and 2 from your second extract, connect it to your global issue. And then we again do the Peel for ideas 1 and 2, connect it to your global issue, connect it to the wider work. Ideas 3 and 4 then, from your second extract. Again, you'll get bored of me saying it, connect it to your global issue, and this time to the wider work. And then we do Peel for ideas 3 and 4 from the second extract. Connect it to the global issue, connect it to the wider work. Has to happen. And then for the 10th bullet, the final reflection or the synthesis. So let's break down each part so you know exactly what belongs where. Firstly, the introduction. This is where you give a clear roadmap. You don't begin your analysis yet. So in about 40 seconds to a minute, you should introduce your global issue, be clear, be specific, be conceptual. Then you name your 2 texts with a title, author, creator, text type, and place your extracts. Where do they come from in the work or the body of work? Then you need to show your angle. So 1 sentence showing your line of inquiry across both texts. So think of this then, your introduction as a map, not as a mini essay. And then you might close it with something like, I'll explore how both texts reveal X through A, B, and C. Clear, controlled, and ready to move on with a clear transition from one point to the next. Then we move into our literary extracts for ideas 1 and 2 in about 2.5 to 3 minutes. You're choosing 2 focused ideas from the extract. And for each one, you're moving through that clear line of thought, the point or the claim, the evidence or the technique, the analysis, and the link to the global issue. And remember to keep your examples short and precise. Avoid retelling the moment and stay interpretive. And then we have ideas 3 and 4, where we bring into the wider work. So you need to widen the lens. This is where you're zooming out. And ideas 3 and 4 should show how the global issue continues elsewhere in the text, in the wider work, how it shifts or intensifies, how it appears in a contrasting pattern. Does it connect to a recurring pattern or a motive? Does it deepen through structure or character development? This part is where you show you understand the text beyond that one extract that you've chosen. And of course, again, making sure you link. All your points come back to your global issue. And if you're unsure what to prioritize, choose 4 ideas in total and develop them properly. Depth, in this case, always beats coverage. And remember, if you're finding this helpful, feel free to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss the next IB English guide. I'll see you there. For the second extract, looking at 3 minutes. And before you begin this section, offer a quick natural clarification where you're transitioning from first point to the next point. Now, I'm moving on to my second extract. As simple as that. If you're doing Lang Lit, this will be your non-literary extract. And if you're doing literature, this is simply your second literary extract. And the structure stays exactly the same. Perfectly placed, clean, non-intrusive. So again, you're starting with ideas 1 and 2 inside the extract, repeating that same pattern from the first extract. You've got clear claim, precise technique, effect, and link to the global issue. Has to happen. So for non-literary extracts, you might comment on the layout, the framing, the color, typography, the image-text relationship, composition, and many other things. For literature, you're using the same literary equivalent as the first extract, so the method is identical. And then we again zoom out to ideas 3 and 4 for the wider body of work, showing again how the idea develops across the full literary work for literature, or across the wider body of work, the campaign series for Lang Lit. So you should be asking yourself, what does this extract begin that the wider work continues, complicates, or challenges? How does it develop? And then finish this section with a clear statement about how the second text deepens or shifts your understanding of the global issue. And then we move into our final reflection or synthesis of about 60 seconds. And remember, this is not a summary. That's crucial. It's where you bring the argument together. So you want to answer questions like, what do these 2 texts reveal about the global issue when read side by side? Do they highlight different aspects of the same problem? Do they offer contrasting or complementary perspectives? Does one text clarify something the other complicates? Remember, this is the most important moment to insight, but also remember it's not a compare and contrast. The IO is not expecting you to come back to either aspects. All you're doing is relating the 2 texts to your global issue, which is crucial. You want your IO to feel intentional and with reflection, not repetition. And then if you have time left, you could offer a short recap. So overall, I extracted my IO by moving from the literary extract to the second extract and then bring them together to show how both explore X. Nothing more than that. Short, polished. Thank you. And if you want more personalized help structuring or preparing your IO, choosing extracts or sharpening with your analysis, you can book a session with me, Dexter Haywood, an IB English expert and examiner, or another IB English specialist at Tutors Plus. Thanks for watching and good luck with your IO. And remember, if this helps you, click like and subscribe below so you don't miss the next guide.